Hello there, you're tuned in to 7Edition. I'm Aanont Wathanasin and these are the headlines. Malaysia to grow again as Asian tiger with shared prosperity vision 2030. Prime Minister says government may introduce new taxes. And Hong Kong in near shutdown after protesters rampage following mask ban. Malaysia could roar again as Asian tiger under the Shared Prosperity Vision or WKB 2030. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad revealed this when launching the Pakatan Harapan government's first economic policy in Kuala Lumpur today. The Prime Minister said the WKB 2030 also promises to restructure the economy to ensure that no one is left behind.
According to the Premier, the 10-year roadmap from 2021 to 2030 is an effort to make Malaysia continuously grow sustainably with wealth distribution that is fair and inclusive, raising the income of all ethnic groups from the country's various regions. In the launch ceremony this morning, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the transformation will be carried out through 7 strategic thrusts. This include restructuring the business and industry ecosystems, developing human capital, and ensuring fair wages. The roadmap will also ensure that there is no discrimination based on age, gender, ethnicity and religion. Welfare policies will also change from the practice of giving out cash to development and training programs to help bring target groups out of poverty.
Selain memperkukuh kegiatan ekonomi sedia ada, penerokaan aktiviti pertumbuhan ekonomi baru ini diharapkan membolehkan Malaysia tidak hanya menjadi negara pengguna kepada ekonomi baru, namun menjadi pencipta, pengeluar, pembekal dan penyedia perkhidmatan kepada ekonomi masa hadapan yang lebih kompetitif.
The Prime Minister also said the government is targeting to grow the country's gross domestic product GDP to 3.4 trillion ringgit by 2030 with an average economic growth rate of 4.7% a year. Tun Dr. Mahathir, however, stressed that these figures are just targets and not proof of the nation's wealth, as the government's priorities are to ensure the people's buying power increases in line with the high cost of living. He also said that work performance based on output and achievements measured by Key Performance Indicators (KPI) will need to change to one based on impact and effectiveness, such as Key Results Indicators (KRI).
Now, Tun Dr. Mahathir also said his previous Vision 2020 policy to turn Malaysia into a developed nation by next year was not achievable. He said this was due to the failure of the previous administration that did not do enough to grow the socio-economy of the middle class and instead only focused on giving aid and subsidies.
Wawasan 2020 bertujuan untuk menjadikan negara kita negara maju. Tetapi 15 tahun yang kebelakang ini tidak ada usaha yang bersungguh-sungguh untuk mencapai matlamat wawasan 2020. Sebaliknya tumpuan ialah untuk memberi income yang tinggi dengan cara begitu saja, memberi wang kepada gaji yang tinggi, beri dan sebagainya supaya mereka mendapat sesuatu, bukan hasil usaha mereka, tetapi hasil pemberian oleh kerajaan.
The Prime Minister added the situation caused some to fail in developing themselves and in the end continue to remain in poverty. He stressed that the WKB 2030 was different as it focused on shared prosperity, one that focuses on the training aspect instead of giving specifically to the poor. Under this vision, those who were highly motivated and wanted to improve their lives will be given the opportunity and adequate training. The government will also help the lower-income groups that have poor financial management by ensuring they are competitive, as they previously saw money as only a tool to buy, but not as capital to create success.
Meanwhile, the WKB 2030 will continue with efforts to achieve the 30% Bumiputra equity ownership target. Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said, however, it needs the participation from the country's corporate sector for it to become a reality.
Ianya bukan saja jauh tetapi jauh daripada sasaran, tapi telah menurun daripada 23% kepada 16%, dan ini bukan sahaja berlaku kepada kumpulan Bumiputra, ianya juga berlaku kepada bukan Bumiputra. Penurunan equity di kalangan rakyat Malaysia, manakala di kalangan orang asing meningkat begitu mendadak. Ini hasil daripada polisi kerajaan sebelum ini yang tidak cermat, sehingga proses liberalisasi itu dilakukan secara tergesa-gesa dan memberikan impak kepada rakyat Malaysia itu sendiri.
According to the minister, the current government might have to revisit some of the initiatives taken by the previous government in regards to liberalisation. Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin also said the government will continue to attract large foreign investors in new sectors such as aerospace, digital economy and big data. The spirit of WKB 2030 will also be incorporated in the next budget to be tabled on October 11th.
On another matter, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the government will restructure the country's tax system to make it more efficient and might introduce a few new taxes on top of existing ones. However, the Prime Minister said that the move is still being studied to ensure that it will not burden the people.
Kita akan ada agensi cukai pendapatan umpamanya akan diperkemaskan. Juga kita mungkin terpaksa memperkenalkan cukai-cukai yang baru yang tidak terlalu membebankan rakyat.
He also said in the past the tax system that was implemented was not done properly and therefore many escaped from having to pay taxes. He added the changes to the current tax system will be carried out by the relevant agencies and ministries. Khazanah Nasional Berhad, the majority owner of Plus Malaysia Berhad, is not interested in selling the strategic asset of the country. This was announced as speculation, and various offers arise from local and international parties to buy the operator company.
In an exclusive interview with Khazanah Nasional's Managing Director, Datuk Syahril Reza Ridzuan, he said that the prices offered were lower than its real value.
All these private parties proposing to buy Plus from us, right? Tapi masalah dia, what they're actually doing, they are offering a price which is entry cost, right? So their idea basically is very simple. Apa yang dia nak buat, dia nak take money from us by paying us basically a substandard price, right? And then using basically that difference in value to offer a discount, right? Because actually, kalau you nak beli daripada KBSP dengan Khazanah, you should offer the fair market price, right? And then after that, you nak buat discount, up to you lah. Then it's from your profit, not from us.
Khazanah Nasional Berhad currently owns 51% stake in Plus, while 49% is owned by the Employees Provident Fund, EPF. This follows a corporate takeover in 2011 worth 23 billion ringgit. Datuk Syahril also stressed that all the offers were rejected because they were unrealistic.
Well, our reply to all of them is very simple, right? We're not interested in selling, right? And you know, honestly, kalau you nak, you can imagine, if somebody came to you and said, "Oh, you ada, I nak beli rumah you," right? Tapi I nak beli rumah you pada cost yang lebih rendah daripada you beli, supaya aku boleh rent kepada next person at a lower rental, right? You will not agree, kan?
As a strategic national asset, Khazanah will also ensure Plus is not sold to individuals or parties who are only interested in raking in huge profits while burdening the public.
Kalau Plus untung pun, keuntungan Plus dia balik kepada kerajaan melalui Khazanah atau dia balik kepada rakyat Malaysia melalui KWSP. Right? So if you were to allow a private party to take over Plus and that party suddenly make a lot of profit, people will be very unhappy. So pada saya, kalau nak restructure semula Plus Highway katakan dari segi tol tu, lebih baik kita restructure, right, as part of what is owned by government and the people of Malaysia, right? Supaya kalau ada untung, rakyat yang untung, right? Dan orang tak akan risau sangat siapa yang untung dari segi Plus.
He added, since the takeover, there has been no toll hikes by Plus.
UMNO President Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi today hinted that the party might contest in the Tanjung PI parliamentary seat by-election on November 16th. Speaking at the opening of the Johor UMNO convention in Johor Bahru, he said this is because Malay voters wanted change in the area.
Tidak ada sesuatu yang mustahil. Jika MCA dapat berbesar hati, MCA dapat berlapang dada dan UMNO juga jangan mengedepikan MCA, UMNO jangan mengedepikan undi orang-orang Cina, jangan semangat adik-beradik harus dikekalkan.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid added that traditionally the seat belonged to MCA, but UMNO strongly believes the Barisan Nasional BN spirit must be maintained. Therefore, a decision on whether UMNO or MCA will contest must be made in solidarity, and certainly the BN Supreme Council meeting is the proper platform for the opposition pact to decide the candidate for the Tanjung PI by-election. A restaurant assistant was remanded for 7 days for allegedly raping his fiancée at his rented room in Temeloh, Pahang. The 21-year-old man is believed to have committed the offence multiple times at the same place near the restaurant in Seberang, Temeloh.
The remand order was issued by Temeloh High Court Registrar Nurul Balkis Zunaidi this morning. Earlier, a police report was lodged by the 18-year-old victim who worked as an assistant at a supermarket in Serdang, Selangor. According to the report, the suspect had asked the victim to go for a walk around Temeloh town on September 13. The suspect then lured the victim to his room under the pretense that he needed to get his mobile phone. The ordeal took place after the girl was roughed up by her fiancé, who slapped her and kicked her in the stomach. He also allegedly inserted various objects, including a deodorant stick, into the victim's private parts before raping and sodomizing her. Medical examination results confirmed that the victim had been raped and sodomized. The girl also claimed that she had been raped by the suspect at other locations in Johor and Malacca, including her own house and a college campus. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code.
New kid on the block, Realme Malaysia is banking on its first quad-camera smartphones to give established players a run for their money. The firm said its newly launched Realme 5 and Realme 5 Pro are equipped with the technologies that promise outstanding performance in their price segments.
Its brand manager Tiffany Tay said both models feature the ultra-wide-angle lens, main camera, portrait lens and ultra-micro lens.
Realme 5 mempunyai chipset Snapdragon Qualcomm 665 and baterinya sangat besar. Mempunyai 5000 mAh bateri yang boleh menggunakan masa lebih panjang. Sekarang kalau you buat pre-order for Realme 5 Pro ini, you akan dapat Realme Alan Walker earbuds yang sangat eksklusif di Lazada, starting from 10:10 Lazada, 10 AM.
Realme 5 comes in two colors, namely Blue Crystal and Crystal Purple, while Realme 5 Pro is available in Crystal Green and Sparkling Blue. Other features on the two models include a 6.3 and 6.5-inch full high-definition displays and the third-generation artificial intelligence engine. The company has also enhanced the Realme 5 diamond cut design with holographic color and reflecting texture. To date, Realme has expanded globally to over 20 markets including China, India, Europe, Russia, Southeast Asia and Africa.
Coming up, an alleged affair is exposed and a doctor is beaten up. Details next. Welcome back. Hong Kong's latest effort to stem months of unrest, a ban on masks, backfired violently as protesters rampaged across the city, halting train services and leading to the second shooting in 4 days. The chaotic scene came after protesters who had earlier marched peacefully against the mask ban battled with police, started vandalizing mainland-linked businesses and setting train stations on fire.
The transit suspension grounded the semi-autonomous trade and financial hub of 7.5 million to a halt on Saturday. With more protests planned over a 3-day weekend, the suspension of the MTR would maintain, including those to the airport. From the scene of Saturday morning, many shophouses and business lots were left damaged. The Park and Shop supermarket and Watson's retail chains, as well as some of China's biggest state-owned lenders, shut almost all their locations on the same day. Some of Bank of China's branches and ATM machines were also vandalized. A person was shot and injured Friday night during a dramatic scuffle in the city's northwestern Yuan Long area between a plainclothes police officer and demonstrators who had attacked his car. Sirens echoed through the streets as protesters set fires, hurled petrol bombs at police and burned the Chinese national flag in a direct challenge to authorities in Beijing. Police used tear gas in multiple locations to disperse protesters who had taken over roads. Lam has since condemned the attack.
特區政府將以最大嘅決心壓止暴力。我呼籲大家支持特區政府依法制暴，一齊譴責暴力，以堅定嘅意志同暴徒割席。
Protesters had earlier warned that decisions to invoke a colonial-era emergency law to impose the mask ban would only further the anger of the government's critics.
US President Donald Trump has announced that his country will block the entry of immigrants without health insurance or the ability to pay for medical bills. The proclamation issued by the White House said it would not affect any individual's eligibility for asylum or refugee status. It also wrote that migrants will be considered people who will burden the system if they're not covered by approved health insurance within 30 days of entering the country. People affected by the change would be required to prove that they have met its requirements to a consular officer. The change is the latest effort by the Trump administration to curb both legal and illegal immigration. The measure will take effect on November 3rd. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Friday that Google cannot escape French law, obliging it to pay royalties to media outlets for displaying their articles, pictures and videos in search results. Google routinely shows extracts of news articles or small thumbnail images in its results and on Google News without paying the publishers. The French president said the new EU rule, which France is the first to implement, requires internet companies to pay for such content derived from media firms. It will come into force on October 24. The new rules create neighboring rights to ensure a form of copyright protection and compensation for media firms when the content is used on websites such as search engines. However, Google has balked, saying it will not use the content in search results unless publishers make it available for free. Now it's time for Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Just yesterday, a video of a man brutally assaulting a doctor for allegedly having an affair with his wife, who is a nurse, went viral across various platforms, with the upload on Twitter raking in over 340,000 views. Kajang Police Chief ACP Ahmad Zafir Muhammad Yusof said they've received a report from the assaulted doctor yesterday evening. And here's the lead up to what happened.
In the viral clip, the man was seen to be punching the doctor blow by blow before slamming him on the floor and mercilessly stomping the victim on his body and face. The incident took place while the doctor was on duty at a private clinic in Bandar Baru Bangi, Selangor. Based on information provided by the attacker's brother-in-law on his social media account, the 8 to 10-month secret relationship was exposed when the husband returned and decided to track his wife's movements. The man, who left to work in Dubai for nearly a year, was surprised when he saw a CCTV recording of his wife and the doctor exiting the lift at their home. This prompted the man to ambush the doctor and vented his anger on him. A Twitter user commented that it's pointless to beat up the doctor when the problem could be discussed in a more civilized manner. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for criminal intimidation and voluntarily causing hurt.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, second edition of Campus Esports Tournament gets more intense. Stay with us. And now it's time for My Game On, bringing you the latest news on gaming and esports. Expats Kejohanan East Sukan Campus, or KIC Semester 2, has reached the halfway mark with the Central Zone qualifiers currently underway. And thousands have gathered at UiTM Puncak Alam, Selangor to witness the best college and university campus esports players compete head-to-head as well as participate in various activities. Wan Izul Ismail has the details.
Welcome to this week's segment on esports. With me, Wan Izul Islam. I'm here at the Kejohanan East Sukan Campus Semester 2, where, as you can see behind me, we've got games such as Mobile Legends and PUBG Mobile all up for grabs, winning a 180,000 ringgit prize pool. Over 400 participants are here for the Zone Central at UiTM Puncak Alam. Loads of prizes to be won, lucky draws, and even a car. Let's go find out more. The quest is on to find the 32 best teams from Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya to compete for the top spot in Xpax Cake 2019. This is also the first Malaysian esports tournament where visitors and online viewers can win a brand new Honda Jazz.
This semester we added in more prizes for visitor who comes down and visit. We're giving away 2,000 ringgit worth of prizes, and this semester we're giving away a car. Honda is our partner. We're giving away a Jazz to the lucky winner of Cake 2 audience.
The second edition of Xpax Cake will also feature educational esports forums with industry players, along with cake trial sessions where visitors can win exciting prizes. Other activities include the Legion of Lenovo Counter-Strike Global Offensive or CSGO Open Match, where the winner can bring home Lenovo monitors and computers.
Apart from the tournaments that's going on, we also have what we call the Cake Trials and Cake Arcade. So the difference between these two is that for trials, if you win, if you play and get the highest score, you win prizes. But for the Cake Arcades, it's very simply just an experience zone where people can play the latest consoles as well as the classic consoles, such as PlayStation Classic.
The final matches to determine the Central Zone representatives will take place tomorrow at Dewan Berlian, UiTM Puncak Alam. This will be followed by the Cake Jam mini concert featuring popular local artists including Wani Hasrita, Nabila Razali and Hakim Rusli, as well as a prize-giving ceremony. Cake Semester 2, organized by My Game On in collaboration with Kita Man, have now hosted 3 qualifying zones for the tournament. Only 2 zones remaining, namely in Penang and Pahang, before the grand finals in Kuala Lumpur next month. Meanwhile, the largest annual gamers and esports gathering, Server DNA, successfully hosted its 4th meetup with over 5,000 people in attendance. Organized by Server DNA and Esports Kuala Lumpur (ESKL), the 2-day community gathering held at Lee Meridian, Putrajaya was the largest event in its history. Welcome to Server DNA, where we've got the biggest and largest community gathering for gaming and esports. We've got cosplayers, we've got PC modding, we've even got esports demonstrations such as racing, Beat Saber, as well as even a tournament here at Server DNA. Now let's go find out some of the biggest announcements being made today at this event. Let's go. The convention dedicated 2 entire floors filled with exhibition booths from international and local computer and gaming brands, as well as appearances by Malaysian gaming personalities. The attendees also participated in forums on various topics ranging from content creation, streaming, and talks by esports industry professionals and more. Gamers were also challenged to multi-platform games including racing simulators, virtual reality, PC and console.
We expanded from the traditional 7DNA community event. So this year we brought in the business group and we had about 40 speakers talking about various subjects relating to esports. And we also brought in the cosplay. Cosplay is a subgroup of esports, so we wanted its cosplay element to be involved.
The event also saw the official announcement of the Kuala Lumpur Esports Masters 2020 tournament that boasts a total prize pool of 1 million ringgit. Announced by the Federal Territories Minister Khalid Abdul Samad, the tournament will feature game categories such as e-racing, mobile and virtual reality.
Saya difahamkan bahawa Kuala Lumpur Esports Masters 2020 ini akan mempertandingkan 5 kategori permainan yang akan diumumkan pada awal tahun hadapan dengan hadiah kemenangan terkumpul atau prize poolnya sebanyak 1 juta ringgit Malaysia. Ini merupakan penganjuran besar dan berprestij yang saya pasti akan membawa manfaat besar kepada para peminat dan penggiat sukan esports.
7DNA said it will continue supporting the Malaysian gaming and esports community by building a strong foundation for grassroots development among the expanding community. Wanizul Islam for 7Edition.
Tens of thousands of Pokemon fans turned up for the annual Taiwan Pokemon Go Safari Zone event, hoping to catch Heracross and Aanont, 2 creatures exclusive to this 4-day festival, which organizers say will attract a total of 400,000 local and overseas Pokemon fans. Visuals of the event wrap up tonight's news. I'm Aanont Wathanasin. Thanks for watching and have a good weekend.